I'm David Domm. The name of my book is Living in the Pause, Life After Addiction, Divorce, and Business Loss. I wrote the book because if there's no other reason for writing the book, first of all, I wanted to share the story. I want to share my experience, strength, and hope with other people. I went through a lot of things in my life so far, and quite frankly, addiction, divorce, and business loss were things that could have taken me out. And instead what they did is they helped me turn my mess into my message. Now, I wrote the book because I want to share that message, and I want other people to learn anything they possibly can from my mistakes, so maybe they might be able to avoid those mistakes. The idea about writing the book is that I feel like it's a teaching instrument, and when you teach something, you get to learn it twice. And whatever you teach is something that you actually feel you need to learn, and I need to continue to learn on a daily basis. To be quiet, be still, stay quiet enough to hear my whispers, act on them, and live in God's will, and hopefully share everything I possibly can with everybody else. I realized that my most recent wife and I were separating, and I was forced into, by my own desire to find out what is my part in all this, I was forced into self-discovery and a journey of self-discovery. And it's because 5 years before, I had gotten a divorce after 23 years. And at that time, I literally didn't even know who I was. I felt like I'd lost my identity because I was only living in my ego. Then when the second one happened, I realized, I need to really look at this closely. And I also had a habit of avoiding, denying, stuffing, or numbing my feelings if they were uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm like a lot of people in that we don't really want to know the answers. We really don't want to know the answers. It would be more comfortable if we just get comfortable by numbing. And I did that. I started doing that after the self-discovery process. I started doing that when I was 10 years old. And started developing a sense of deficient self-esteem probably when I was 5. And then it just continued. So it included a lot of things. A 12-step program for the addiction issue, a psychotherapist for feelings, work with a therapist, it's great. Yoga, which quite frankly is a healing process. It's unbelievable for me. There's emotional healing in yoga. So all these things created this journey of self-discovery. But I guess I got tired of not having the answers and not knowing what the questions were. What I found is that in every situation that was causing me pain or anguish or challenge, I was the common denominator. It's acceptance. We have to accept the fact that we are responsible 100% for everything that's going on in our life. And it doesn't matter what the other person's doing. It doesn't matter, because I can't take their inventory. I have to focus on my inventory. I can't take their inventory. I can't work their program. I can't control them and make them act in a way that's going to make me feel okay. I have to learn to be okay even if. So what I found is that in every situation, there was a part in it that I was playing, where I was selfish, or dishonest, or fearful, or self-centered, jealous. And there's a list of things that I had to look at. Where in these situations have I been that? And what I found is that there's plenty of work to be done. And then once I started stripping away all of those flaws or defects or whatever you want to call them and acknowledging them, accepting them, then I was able to get to the next phase, which was, okay, let me see if I could clean some of this up. Let me clean up some of the stuff from the past. But more importantly, on a daily basis, not create any more damage. And then constantly look where I was wrong or where I am wrong in certain situations. And then find, how can I have the most peace? That peace comes from doing the deal, what I call doing the deal, which is, again, prayer and meditation, getting still, getting quiet, looking at what I really want to do, purpose, alignment. balance. The main message is that I believe that we are all much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. There's a quote by Marianne Williamson, and I'll paraphrase, but she says something to the effect of, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And I believe that to be true in my life. I've experienced that, because if we're powerful beyond measure, then our brain and our ego goes to, okay, I've got a great idea, I want to do something, okay, I believe I'm powerful beyond measure, but is it going to work? Is it actually going to, what's going to happen? What if I fail? What are other people going to think about me? So these fears come up, and that's our ego speaking to us. So I believe that we are powerful beyond measure. We have to believe that, and then we can do anything we ever want to do. The other thing that's extremely important and that's covered in the book is it talks about our ego, and our ego is part of our false self. That's a huge component in the book. And then getting still and quiet, which is the essence of the pause. I believe the book has an application for almost anybody because of the truths that it speaks about, and that is because life happens. Life happens, meaning we go through stuff, and the book primarily is focused on helping people at any point in their life, but it just so happens that the tools that I've been using and have learned to use helped me the most in those situations in my life. Addiction, divorce, and business loss.